Hey guys, welcome back to Xposed Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about a module called Swipeback, but not the first version, the one that hasn't been updated for about a year. We're looking at Swipeback2. Let's check it out. First thing we want to do is download and install the module. The module itself is called Swipeback2. Make sure that you download the number 2 version. Swipeback1 is available on the actual Xposed Framework repository, but the main concern with it is it hasn't been updated for over a year and it's not actually compatible with Lollipop. So when you download that, just look for Swipeback2, check the box, restart the system. The main thing you want to make sure here you do is, obviously there's nothing here under here other than about. You need to go into the global settings. This kind of has a blanket setting to all of the different applications that you do want to allow Swipeback to work on. And the reason I say this is because, as you notice here, this is the UI. It kind of works. I can go back, obviously go back into the setting itself. But the main benefit of it is obviously first you want to turn it on. Without this, this wouldn't work. Trigger point, I have it on the left side. You can have it on the left, bottom, and right, depending on what you have. For me, I have Omni Switch here, and it wouldn't work for me if I have it on the same level. Next here you have the ability of turning on the sensitivity. I have it to about 50% here. The other thing is also with Lollipop type hacks, it gives us the ability to have a better experience with our tinted status bars based on the application. So this is something that's specific to Lollipop. If you're not on Lollipop, this will still work on Jelly Bean and KitKat, but just be aware that this really only applies to Android Lollipop. And the last option here it turned on is sometimes has some issues with the ability of how to do the drawback when it's actually swiping away. I turned it off. I don't personally care too much for it, but it does work very nicely sometimes. The other thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of is, for some reason or another, some apps don't jive very well with Swipeback. And if you do experience some of these things, you have the ability of going into the actual per app setting and turning on and turning off the functionality. So you can't personally just say, I don't want Swipeback to work within this application, specifically like this one's called Alone. I can turn it off, and then this way, every time I'm within this application, I can no longer swipe back out of it. I may be able to swipe to it, but not away of it. So it works very nice, and you can notice I went back to the Xposed installer, and then from here I can go back to the main screen. And last but not least, I can go back to the launcher. It does not work in the launcher. You cannot swipe back to home from that because the launcher is obviously the last thing you can actually go to. So just keep that in mind. If you're within your launcher, it works very nice. From what you see with the hands-on, the actual application works very nicely. The swipe action works very good. It's very smooth. The implementation and the updates have been done to make it more compatible with Lollipop work very nice. You see some of those functionalities in there. It works very nice, as you saw again with the installer, your ability to actually swipe from the main menu and go back. And also, if you've ever opened an application, kind of like when we were the installer and we went into the actual module, you're able to swipe back one page at a time. So one layer of depth at a time, and then go back to the launcher itself. Works very well. The initial bug that I had with the original version of Swipeback that gave me issues whenever I was using playback for video is not here. I'm able to play video and it works very nicely, and I tested it out with YouTube. So works very well, but if you do have any issues with any applications, again, go in there and just disable Swipeback for that functionality, or that functionality directly for that application. Other than that, as usual, like and subscribe to this channel. Before I let you go, I know you guys probably saw already that Android 5.1 has an early release developer kind of version of the Xposed installer. It is not a Rovo 89 installer version. It is initial, it is for testing purposes, it is not for mass consumption, and that's the reason why I didn't bring you guys here. I just want you guys to be aware of this, that it is actually out there, it's being tested, and as soon as there's an official version released from Rovo for people to be able to use, and that it would have no issues on your system, I will make sure to cover that for you guys here. Again, as usual, like and subscribe to this channel, like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.